With the lack of football games on the Switch, does Legendary 11 fill the void? Well, I'm going to take a look at 5 things I hate about the game and give my final thoughts, so make sure you keep it locked.
Number 1.
Without holding any punches, this game is flawed with so many bugs that it becomes literally unplayable at times. I don't think I've actually completed a match without some form of issue creeping into the game, which is super annoying. I really wanted to like this game, but the bugs will certainly ruin the experience. So for example, when the ball goes out for a throw, the game doesn't register that it is a throw-in, and basically the game is still running, so you can run off the pitch and bring the ball back into play and even attempt to try and score, all whilst running beside the linesman who doesn't even decide to blow the whistle. Whilst it was funny at first, it is actually crazy because if you actually kick the ball into the stand, then there is no way to get the ball back, which means the game will end once the match is actually at full time. Now clearly this probably can be resolved with a new patch, but as it stands, this has currently ruined my personal experience with the game so far.
Number 2.
Legendary 11 features 2 modes, a friendly and a championship mode, and which, whilst maybe the championship mode does have a variety of different cups for you to play in, such as the World Cup or Continental Cup such as the European or Asian Cup, they pretty much are all identical. Whilst I must admit I personally don't know what extra modes could have boosted this game, but I think maybe something like a challenge mode with scenarios or even a training mode to fully understand the entire moveset would have probably maybe helped the game out slightly. I'm just throwing a couple of ideas out there because as it stands, 2 modes doesn't really provide longevity to the game on a whole.
Number 3.
With this gripe, I suppose some may argue, do you expect an online mode or option for a game under £10? But I would argue that by implementing the feature would add even more enjoyability to the experience of Legendary 11. I'm not gonna lie, I personally would have loved to have seen the inclusion of an online option in a game like this, as to me it would add definitely longevity and even another element to the game. Obviously, judging by the bugs, the online mode at this point would have obviously had major issues, but let's say if all the bugs were addressed, then I do think this is certainly an area that should have been explored. The reason I also feel online option would have been a great addition to this game is because I do also find the AI at times to be inconsistent, and they do just run around the pitch with no purpose, resulting in the single player experience not being a very nice one. You can play locally with friends, but for those who don't always have the luxury of playing co-op on the couch in 2018, I would always say that online is definitely the way to go.
Number 4.
Whilst to me this is an easy pick up and play game and you will certainly get a sense of the controls straight away, it still feels unresponsive at times. So when you try to tackle your opponent, there does feel like there's a delay in the controls that prevent you from even feeling like you're ever really in full control of your actions. So you might try and slide tackle your opponent, but with the delay it misses the ball and takes your opponent out, resulting in obviously you getting punished by a card, or even worse, giving away a penalty. Even if you don't sometimes want to intend to go for the slide tackle and try and tackle your opponent standing up, sometimes your opponent can literally run right through your whole entire team and score. Even to me, the passing in the game has question marks written all over it with regarding the inconsistency. Sometimes they're automated where it simply finds your teammate or just bizarrely rockets right past them. I don't even attempt to do a through ball in this game, as chances are it won't even reach the intended target. The shooting in the game is also another gripe that I have with the mechanics. When you do take a shot, sometimes there is a long pause, resulting in your opposition being able to block the shot. I personally don't understand the exaggeration in the animation for some of the shooting, and I would go as far to say that the crossing in the game also feels non-existent. Given how simplistic this game and the controls should be, I'm kind of surprised that they don't really have it that polished.
Number 5.
As silly as this sounds, believe me, this is something in the game that I found was a bit ridiculous. Now, if you want to dribble out from your goal area, or if you're near the goalkeeper with the ball and you're on the same team, he still will slide in on you and take you out whilst trying to grab the ball in the process. This to me is the weirdest thing that I've ever seen in a football game, where the goalkeeper doesn't even know who is on his team after even passing the ball to him. Obviously, this is obviously a bug in the game and maybe should be something I overlook at the moment until the patch comes out, or I don't know whether this is actually intentional and as part of the game, but as it stands, this is obviously a massive flaw in the game.
Final verdict.
I'll start by saying I do fully admire the intentions behind this title, and it's by no means the worst game that I've played on the Nintendo Switch, and at times the game has definitely got a lot of fun elements that will keep you entertained for a couple of hours. So I don't really want to go in super hard on the developers because the idea and the concept for the game is really cool. Let's be clear, as an old school gamer myself who definitely appreciates arcadey football games like the likes of ISS on the Super Nintendo back in the days, or even the likes of Striker, Sensible Soccer, and the list definitely goes on, I would always try to give arcade style football games the benefit of the doubt and support the cause. Whilst I wasn't expecting a major competitor to the likes of FIFA 19 or PES 2019, I did expect a great modern take on the old school arcade football game genre. This game isn't going to break the bank at £8.99, but I'm not going to lie, I don't even know if you can really justify paying that, as regarding its current experience and the current state that the game is in, is definitely going to disappoint those, especially when you consider all the bugs that the game has in it. I'm not gonna lie, there has been moments while I do feel that maybe I should have got a refund on this game because it is unplayable at times, believe me when I say that. I may hold out for the patch and see whether the game does improve slightly, but I do feel in terms of the base game itself, even if you do love football games with an arcade twist to it, you probably will still be disappointed. I feel the lack of modes, the not so great graphics, and also the online features missing unfortunately makes Legendary 11 a great opportunity miss when it comes to the game. Anyway peeps, let me know in the comments below, have you had an opportunity to play this game, and have you kind of experienced some of the things that I've mentioned in my assessment of the game? As always, if you did enjoy this urban gameplay video, be sure to smash the like button, comment below, and do all that great stuff. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.